Hello, dear aspirants. Welcome to this Edge IAS UPSC CSE Main Examination 2025. We are discussing the Indian polity, governance, uh, mm, international relations, and the entire GS2 paper. And we have already discussed the Indian polity up part of it. And now we intend to discuss the uh, governance part of it, and then it will be followed by discussion on IR part of it. I am JKP Singh. I am a faculty here teaching Indian Polity GS2 and Public Administration optionals here at Edge IAS. Friends, we have already been emphasizing that the demand of the UPSC conducted civil services examination is that students should be prepared for writing questions which has current relevance. It doesn't require deep, in-depth knowledge. What it requires is that you should be a well-educated, well-versed with the issues grappling the society. Indian society, international society, society at large. So and we have been saying that the issues which are in news, which are of very current relevance, are very critical and expected to be asked in the examination. Let's see whether this hypothesis of ours that current issues having relevance are coming in the examination or not. We will also see this. Let's see. We are discussing the governance part of the GS paper 2. Let me first tell you, this governance part in the GS paper 2, there are 4 questions. 2 questions on 50 words carrying 10 marks, 2 questions, 250 words each carrying 15 marks. Therefore, there are certain importance attached to certain questions, and I won't say it is less important, but yes, they carry 10 marks. Therefore, we can say that UPSC examination system is attaching more importance to those papers. This is to those topics. E-governance project have a built-in bias towards technology and back-end integration than user-centric design. E-governance is the hot topic. The government of India has been emphasizing since last 10-15 years on going digital. Digital India is the flagship program of government of India, and therefore we expected, and in years to come also, in some way or the other, directly, indirectly, in some way, we expect questions on e-governance of aspect of it. So this time the e-governance portion has been covered under this question, and this time focus is on the technology, whether the e-governance projects have a built-in bias towards technology loaded program, user loaded program. These are not two dichotomous things, but yes, emphasis has been till now on the technology. Maybe because of our early forays into the field of technology, that these kind of questions are coming after say 20 years. This question may not be relevant because that time it will be very user friendly, we will be technology literate. Therefore, the focus of the question may change say after 20 years. Right now, we have a question saying that we have a built-in bias towards technology and back-end integration rather than user-centric. These are the key words, and our questions have to, and the answer to this question has to focus on these points. E-governance is a wide concept, and we have to see that our answer takes care of these built-in bias and backend integration, and not user-centric. We may agree, we may not agree also critically when we analyze the issues. We find that what is answer to this question should contain how we started our journey in a very small and short way. E-governance, how it is envisioned as a transparent, efficient public service. What is the volume of work we are doing? Our main work is Aadhaar, DigiLocker, and Umang through Umang. These are the technology-centric Government of India program facilitating for speedy, transparent, and accountable governance. And these three are main, they occupy an important sphere in our technological intervention. Let's see. Answer to this question should include policy priorities. What is our policy priority? Aadhaar, UPI, and BharatNet to enable large-scale integration. Success metrics. Ministries highlight we have the large number of registration, uptime, and transaction rather than ease of use. We have been emphasizing on use part of it, but our journey towards ease of doing and using e-governance has not reached to that extent where where people are very friendly with them. I'm not saying that people are not using, they are, but yes, our journey is still a work in progress. There is a capacity gap. We have to make part of it that yes, we are using IT, we are emphasizing, we have a strong IT engineering capability, and however, limitations are in terms of in-house human-centered design also. So these are the kind of issues that we need to discuss in the question. And sorry. And through this diagram, we intend to say how the e-govern patterns has been happening in India, and how is the current bias in the technology side is happening. Actual position is there. The second part of it deals with our impact and way forward. What is the impact of this technology loaded policy? I won't say called policy, but the technology loaded policy and program has an impact on the total policy and program. And what are they? Yes, we have digital device persists because of technology remaining very dominant, and people are unable to decode it. I would say there seems to be a gap in the persons who know the technology, how to use it, and and the real requirement to take full advantage of the digital interventions. Low adoption, still we have very low adoption, and exclusion risks are the important things we need to know. We have also tried to make a model out of it where this is the model we intend to provide, that this is the desired model, and user first should be the our priority in the e-governance, and human-centered design units, multi-channel access, and inclusive design. I mean, there is a criticism that still our technological interventions and e-governance are not inclusive. There are certain people who are they know how to use technology, are taking full advantage of it, and not the people going down below are using. So we have tried to build a model in which the outcome is inclusivity, accessibility, and trust in the government. Therefore, these are the three areas which are to be discussed in this question, and we are also sort of providing a way forward in how to make it more user friendly. Okay, if we frame our question in terms of these three important dimensions and aspects, I think we can do justice to this question and we should get good marks. And we can conclude by saying that for e-governance to succeed in India, it must shift from a technology-heavy orientation to citizen-centric solution, ensuring digital inclusion, accessibility, and user trust. This is the conclusion, very precise and to the point. I think this kind of answer are most appropriate to the question they have asked. Next question in this governance is, civil society organizations are often perceived as being anti-state actors than non-state actors. Do you agree? Justify. If you don't agree, don't justify. Two important anti-state actors, non-state actors, and of course the civil society organizations. With the governance emphasizing on non-state, other than state actors, the role of NGO, civil society organizations have come to stay in the post, say, 1980s, 90s situation. Government sharing, parting ways, going for some sort of input in terms of privatization, the role of civil society organizations have come to stay. Now, question is whether these civil society organizations should be treated as anti-state actor or non-state actor. Till now, we have been somehow or the other, we have been treating as the non-state actors. But yes, there is a concept that sometimes and on many occasions they also act as a anti-state. Is it true? Should it be allowed? Is it a fact? What do you think? These are the points. These are the question points which need to be addressed in our answer to the question. So again, main function of the CS civil society organization: advocacy, service delivery. We have said here it is advocacy, service delivery, and policy critique. Now it depends on whether they are going beyond their jurisdiction in becoming a sort of anti-state. Is too much criticism should be treated as anti-state or not? Let's discuss and make it part of our answer. As per the Central Statistical Organization called CSO, we have about 3.4 million registered NGOs. So quite a large number of NGOs we have in our country, and they are in multiple fields working really good, doing really good job. So we will discuss whether to what extent they should be treated as or seen as, or we should be concerned about their anti-state activities or not. What we find that CSO are sent, let's see, we are discussing first as the anti-state aspect of it. First, advocacy and dissent. This is their duty. They are supposed to do it. But Has these movements led to good thing or bad thing? Let's see. The right to information, as we had in 2005, that came in terms of our act, the contribution of civil society has been immense. They have fought for it. They have flagged the issue, and in the formation of right to information, their role has been commendable. So, campaign against discriminatory laws, at times opposing government narratives, has been seen as their anti-state avatar. In their anti-state avatar, we have been seeing it when they oppose government narratives with certain motives. Whether these motives are what are their motives? Recent state action, the government has restricted foreign funding. When we have found that yes, they are indulging in some, it is perceived to be hand in glove with some foreign countries. So their foreign fundings has been restricted. The Foreign Currency Regulation Act licenses, we have revisited, and many of the licenses have been cancelled. Delegitimization taxes, mechanics like delegitimization and displacements are used to marginalize CSOs, reinforcing perception of them as oppositional. So on many occasions, these CSOs, their stand has been not only critical. Critical is very fine, but what is important, they go beyond their jurisdictions. Sometimes the foreign fundings, sometimes, yes, government has certain information that their role are not in terms of strengthening our social values, political values, democracy, and all that. The legal restriction, the tightening of FCRA led to suspension of license of thousands, we have discussed. And the global advocacy organization like, yes, there are certain organizations like Greenpeace and Amnesty International have challenged government policies on mining, environment, human rights, sometimes branded as foreign influenced and even anti-national. So if those CSOs, if their role has been found like government, anti-government, and foreign, influenced by the foreigners, and our anti-national role, we have definitely we have to treat accordingly. However, non-state actor role they are in fact basically formed for this role only. So partner in governance, they are welcome. CSO frequently collaborate, particularly in COVID-19, all these kind of things. Pluralism in multiple areas, they have been doing service, providing last mile delivery, seva in women empowerment, Pratham. All these are examples we have to use to strengthen our answer in polio eradication campaign. This is a very praiseworthy work that they have done. So these kind of so this question, answer to this question will have certain aspects like their legitimate role as per their registration, number one. Number two, they should be critical of the government. Their job is to do it. They should be complementary to government efforts. Like non-state actor role are welcome, but on many occasions when they cross their limits and maybe under influence of foreign funding or something else, then their anti-state role has to be restricted. Therefore, while we conclude it by saying that while we acknowledge CSO critical role and in ensuring participatory democracy, in conclusion, while society's critical stance may foster a perception being anti-state, their fundamental role is to strengthen democracy by holding the state accountable and complementing governance rather than opposing it for the purpose of opposing. not only they act as anti-state, many times they are not using the funds for which they are supposed to spend. Number one. Number two, there are corruption charges also. Number three, maybe some foreign funding interests groups which they pursue their interests through funding of these. So they tend to act as the anti-state and seen as the anti-state. Therefore, we have to make those issues in our discussion to this question. Next is, what are environmental pressure groups? Discuss their role in raising awareness, influencing policies, advocating for environmental protection in India. Again, environment remains very hot topic for the examination. Another years also I expect in some way or other, climate change, environment, blah blah blah, these questions are going to come some way or the other. Therefore, the 2026 aspirants also need to take care of these issues also and prepare well for this also. This time they have asked environmental pressure groups. There is a group advocating for the protection of the environment, for keeping the environment clean, influencing government policies, raise public awareness, advocate for the protection of the natural environment. These are the basic theoretical demands and theoretical theories about these pressure groups. Are they what they are doing in India? And we have to discuss their role in raising awareness, influencing policies, and advocating environmental protection in India, specific to India. So what we find, we have in our answer to this question, we have to refer to certain movements, those called pressure groups, how they have been doing it, when it all started in a remarkable way. 73 Chipko movement, we all know Sundarlal Bahuguna. Fridays for Future India, again, Center for Science and Environment provides accessible research. These two, first two, I tell you, are the active practitioners. They are activists. This one, at the intellectual level also, at the intelligentsia, intellectual, academic level also, there is a group, there is an institution called Center for Science and Environment, which provides accessible research and data on critical issues like air pollution. These are names of the two stalwarts doing it. And then they also publish a magazine called Down to Earth. So if we mention these institutions doing certain research work, encouraging research, making data available, therefore that will enrich our answer. And the reference to COVID-19 groups like Youth for Climate Change use social media to spread role of how they have been using social media for raising this issue of quality and climate action. Not only that, they are not only activists, they are not only doing research, they are influencing our policies also. This is exactly what we question has asked us to answer. Pressure groups frequently use judicial activism. Academic practitioners and activists, they have been resorting to the judicial system also. MC Mehta PI led to strict pollution control measures in the Ganga River and Delhi's vehicular emissions. Therefore, friends, the environmental pressure groups are not only activists, they are academicians, they are using the judicial platforms also. So all these references will enrich our answer. The Silent Valley movement stopped hydroelectric projects in Kerala, preserving biodiversity. These are the pressure groups. Greenpeace India and Kalpavriksha have successfully influenced forest conservation and biodiversity legislation. So they are not only raising issues, making people aware, even influencing the legislation part of it, influencing the government policy and programs. Recent campaign have shaped plastic bag regulation 2016 and 2022 and renewable energy promotion policies along with India's COP21 commitments. So look at the kind of human service, I will say, important influencing activities that these pressure groups are. So these form the part of our answer. Role in environmental protective activities, another few names: Narmada Bachao Andolan, Wildlife Trust of India, and this National Grieve Tribunal. Government of India has come out with a tribunal for adjudicating the issues involving environment, pollution, etc., etc. Therefore, National Green Tribunal, fueled by the activist petitioners, had delivered landmark rulings on pollution control, restricting not only the government but also on many occasions the private concerns also. They test the sort of environmental polluting not only policies but even acts of these industries. Youth climate activist Ridhima Pandey filed a Supreme Court petition 25 this year only, reinforcing India's climate commitments. Not only groups, individuals also are doing local struggle against industrial projects impacting wetlands and forests, supported by the environmental groups, have challenged corporate negligence and state inaction. I was just referring to state inaction हो या फिर हमारा corporate negligence हो, कोई private industry बड़ा सा बैठा और वो green issues को, climate change issues को, environmental issues को थोड़ा भी neglect करते हैं, then these pressure groups just spring up and try to influence. So very positive that way. I'm just not advocating, but yes, their commitment level is very high. In India, environmental pressure groups serve as a crucial watchdog, advocates, bridging citizens and policymakers to foster sustainable development. Their activism has led to significant policy shifts, judicial interventions, and community mobilization, making them indispensable for ecological justice and environmental governance. So if we answer this question in this way, paragraphing such a way, what are the important environmental pressure groups, how they are doing, individual efforts, using not only activist route, they are using intellectual route, they are using judicial platforms. So all these points make our answer a really good mark fetching one. In contemporary development models, decision making and problem solving responsibilities are not located close to the source of information and execution, defeating the objective of the development. We all know development remains the most critical issue before entire developing societies, even developed society. But yes, for the developing society like India, we all work for development and development. So in some way or the other, this question has to be part of the syllabus, and not only syllabus but the question paper also. Here the focus is on decentralization. Decentralization means decision making not being taken at the highest level, not at the top, but in association with people, those who can participate, for whom we intend to make policy at the top. Why not make it at the grassroots level? If we make at the top, what is the problem? How it cannot be so effective? What are the problems? So basically this question wants to see that what are the benefits of decentralization, is why if it is desirable, what are the benefits, what are the disadvantages of the top taking the decision, etc., etc., in the development policy and programs. This is the crux of the issue, and our answer has to revolve around this concept. Let's see how we have attempted, and we need to attempt, in fact. In contemporary development models, decision making and problem solving are often centralized away from the source of information and execution, which critically hampers development objectives. It means the source of information and the people at the source of information was the word used here. Source of information and the execution. So in fact, all policy programs are made at the top for the grassroots. Why not make it at the grassroots itself? This is the question, basically. The problem of, but what we are having right now, though it is again a work in progress, we are moving towards decentralized planning. We have 22nd, 72nd and 73rd amendments, institutionalizing the legalizing, institutionalizing, making the constitutional provisions for Panchayati Raj. But still, our work is in progress. We will see how. Still, we have some sort of centralized decision making. So our present system of centralized decision making suffers from the following malaise. What are these? It is distance from ground realities. If we are making at the top, it's the ground reality. The central authorities lack detailed local knowledge, leading to policies that fail to address a specific community needs effectively, delayed implementation, making it at the top, and then the entire things going down to the grassroots takes its own time, and there are pilferages also. There are low accountability. He makes, somebody else implements, difficult to fix the accountability, poor outcomes. Obviously, if we indulge in these three, the result has to be poor or not good. So fiscal control, local bodies dependence, and flagship schemes, these are the things. Data, we have used the data here to only showcase that the centralized efforts making decision at the top is not helping us achieve the target that we intend to in our development program. Let's see. What is the problem? Some data. Gram Panchayat Development Index data shows average local governance effectiveness is low. 39.4 out of 100, indicating poor execution of rural development program. So if we are having a centralized decision-making system, the result is here to see. It's a raw data that tells the story. Again, if the local government lacks financial autonomy, technical capacity, yet remain responsible for service delivery, causing a mismatch between goals and implementation. Very natural. Weakening of grassroots participation with 73rd and 74th amendment. I've said 72nd. I'm sorry for that. Yes, it is 73rd and 74th amendment. Despite over 3.1 million elected local representative, actual decision-making powers still are restricted. Centrally sponsored program, though well funded, but still unable to achieve the kind of effectiveness that it intends to achieve. Example include inconsistent rural health outcomes, uneven implementation of sanitation programs under Swachh Bharat mission. So what we need, what efforts we are doing, we have made 73rd amendment, 74th amendment. RBI report says yet only 3 to 4% of the total public expenditure is routed through the Panchayati Raj. Niti Aayog came into existence in 2015, and after that promotes cooperative federalism. Still work in progress, criticized for insufficient fiscal devolution. Now there is a Kerala's People's Plan campaign 1996 showcase success in participatory planning with nearly 35 to 40% of the state plan funds devolved to local bodies. So we need not only people's participation, people involvement also. So there is a participation in involvement, and that too active. With I have seen 3.1 million elected local representatives. If we make certain structural reforms, why not we have our development strategy will yield the result. This is the kind of information and the content and the sequence through which we need to answer this question. If we do it, and if we have done it, and we use it as a model to do it in future, it is going to give us a satisfactory answer, hoping to get good marks.